Ladies and gentlemen, right now I want you to feel something deep in your core. Fire. You came here with a dream of wealth, of freedom, of impact. But dreams don't just happen. They're born from habits. Today, we're not talking theory. We're talking about real daily rituals that the world's wealthiest men and women live by. If you're ready to play life at the level of champions, I need your absolute focus. Imagine waking up in the morning, and instead of letting the world dictate how you feel, you decide that you are going to program your mind, body, and emotions to serve you at the highest level. Most people roll over, grab their phone, scroll through chaos, and immediately give away their focus. They don't realize they've already lost control of their day before it's even begun. But when you prime your mind daily, you take back that control. You decide who you're going to be, how you're going to show up, and what kind of energy you'll bring into everything you touch. That's the difference between people who drift through life and people who build lives worth living. When you prime your mind, you're not just thinking positive thoughts. You're conditioning your nervous system. You're creating the emotional states that allow you to take massive action. Because here's the truth, it doesn't matter how many resources you have. If your mind isn't focused, sharp, and directed, you'll sabotage yourself. Success isn't about talent, it isn't about luck. It's about creating a mental environment where your best self shows up every single day. Think about it. Have you ever had a day where you woke up inspired, grateful, totally charged, and everything seemed to flow? You had the same challenges, the same problems waiting for you, but your mind was different. Because your state was elevated, your decisions were stronger, your creativity was flowing, your influence on others was magnetic. That didn't come from outside circumstances. It came from the way you primed your mind. Now imagine creating that intentionally every single morning instead of waiting for it to happen by chance. That's how leaders, visionaries, and millionaires live. They don't leave their state up to randomness. They master it before the world even has a chance to distract them. So how do you do it? You start by taking control of your focus. Whatever you focus on, you feel. If you focus on what's missing, you'll feel scarcity. If you focus on what you already have, you'll feel abundance. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to shift your state because you can't feel fear and gratitude at the same time. Spend a few minutes each morning putting all your attention on the people, the opportunities, the small gifts you already have in your life. Don't just think it, feel it, embody it. Let that gratitude flood your nervous system until it becomes who you are. Then, once your mind is in that space, visualize. See the day ahead, not as it is, but as you intend it to be. Picture yourself walking into that meeting, confident, strong, compelling. Picture yourself working on your goals with unstoppable focus. Picture yourself in the future, living the life you've been chasing, and then bring that vision into the present moment. When your brain experiences that future vividly enough, it begins to believe it's real, and it pushes you to act in alignment with that vision. And don't just stop with thought. Use your body. Emotion is created by motion. You cannot sit slouched over, breathing shallow, and expect to feel powerful. Prime your physiology with movement, with breathing, with energy. Jump, stretch, breathe deep into your lungs and flood your body with oxygen. You'll notice in minutes your mind is clearer, your emotions stronger, your presence sharper. Successful people don't stumble into peak states. They manufacture them. What happens when you commit to this every single day is profound. Instead of being reactive to whatever the world throws at you, you show up proactive. Instead of drowning in distraction, you operate from clarity. Instead of starting your day with stress, you start with power. Over time, these moments compound. One day becomes a week becomes a month, and soon you're living a completely different life. People will look at you and say you're lucky or that you're gifted, but you'll know the truth. You've trained yourself to live at a higher standard by priming your mind every morning. Here's the bottom line, your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant the seeds, weeds will grow automatically. Negativity, fear, doubt, and stress, they don't need permission. They show up uninvited. But when you deliberately plant the seeds of gratitude, focus, vision, and energy, You crowd out the weeds and grow a mental environment that produces confidence, creativity, and success. Do it daily, and soon it won't just be a practice, it will become who you are. So tomorrow morning, before the world gets its hands on you, take 10 minutes, breathe, move, focus, feel grateful, see the life you're creating, step into the emotions that will make you unstoppable. Do it consistently, and you won't just change your mornings. You'll change your entire destiny. Most people wait. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect moment when everything aligns. But here's the problem. There is no perfect time. Waiting kills dreams. Thinking about it doesn't change anything. Only action creates change, and not just random action once in a while, but massive, consistent action that builds momentum so strong it becomes unstoppable. Think about it. The people you admire, the ones who built extraordinary wealth, influence, and impact, they weren't always smarter, luckier, or better connected. What set them apart was their ability to act boldly, again and again, while others hesitated. They understood something most people miss: motion creates emotion. You don't wait to feel confident before acting. You act, and confidence grows because of it. The truth is, your brain loves comfort. It wants you safe, predictable, doing the same thing over and over. But the life you want doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the unknown, in the uncomfortable, in the leap. Every time you break through that hesitation and take massive action, you're training yourself to trust your power. Every time you follow through when it's inconvenient, when it's scary, when you don't feel like it, you're rewiring your identity into someone who does what others won't. Let's be real, knowledge is not power. It's only potential power. We live in a world drowning in information. You can read every book, watch every video, take every course. But until you translate knowledge into action, it's worthless. Action is where transformation lives. Action is where results are born. But here's the key. It's not one giant action that changes everything overnight. It's the consistency. It's showing up daily, even when the payoff isn't immediate. Think about the gym. You don't get fit from one intense workout. You get fit by showing up again and again, building strength over time. Business, relationships, wealth, it's all the same. One bold move is a spark. Consistent bold moves are the fire. And yes, you're going to fail. That's part of the process. Most people are so terrified of failing that they never really start. But failure is feedback. Failure is progress. Failure is life testing how badly you want it. Every setback carries within it a seed of equal or greater opportunity if you keep moving. The only true failure is quitting. If you're moving, learning, adjusting, you're still in the game. And that's where the breakthroughs happen. Here's what happens when you commit to massive, consistent action. Your world starts bending in your favor. Opportunities show up because you're moving. People notice because you're creating energy. You discover capacities within yourself that you didn't even know were there, and you stop being at the mercy of circumstances. You start becoming the cause, the creator. Think of a rocket leaving Earth. The first few minutes burn the most fuel because it takes insane energy to break free from gravity. Your life is the same. When you're stuck, when you're starting something new, it feels heavy. It feels like pushing against gravity. But if you keep pouring action into it, consistency eventually creates momentum. And once momentum takes over, it's 10 times easier to keep going than it ever was to start. So what's holding you back right now? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it waiting for someone else to believe in you first? Let me tell you, courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of fear. And if you keep waiting for certainty, you'll die waiting. Certainty comes from doing, from stepping forward, from proving to yourself that you're capable. Your future is decided by what you do daily. Not what you say, not what you intend, not what you dream about. The world doesn't pay you for what you think. It rewards what you consistently do. And the beautiful thing, you're in control. You can decide right now that you will no longer be the person who hesitates, who waits, who overthinks. You can decide to be the person who acts, who executes, who moves forward no matter what. So don't leave this moment inspired but unchanged. Pick something in your life right now, something you've been delaying, something that matters. and take action on it today. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, now, because the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not filled with luck. It's filled with action, massive, consistent, unstoppable action. Your body is the vehicle for everything you want in life. If your energy is low, if your health is compromised, if you're constantly running on fumes, you can have the greatest ideas in the world, but you won't execute them. You can't pour from an empty cup. Success requires energy, not just strategy. The most successful people understand this. They treat their body like a performance machine because without physical vitality, every other part of life suffers. Think about it. How many times have you set a goal, had the intention, had the vision, but you didn't follow through because you were tired, sluggish, or stressed out? It wasn't your intelligence holding you back, it was your state. When your energy is depleted, your willpower weakens, your clarity disappears, and your ability to make strong decisions collapses. But when your energy is high, you feel unstoppable. Challenges become opportunities. Problems feel solvable. You have the emotional fuel to move forward. That's why physical vitality isn't optional. It's the foundation of achievement. The mistake most people make is that they try to manage their life without managing their energy. They push harder, they grind longer, but they burn themselves out. The truth is, you don't need more hours in the day. You need more energy in the hours you already have. 1 hour with high energy can accomplish more than 10 hours with low energy. So, how do you nurture your vitality? You begin by mastering your physiology. Emotion is created by motion. If you want to feel alive, strong, and confident, you can't sit slouched with shallow breathing, staring at a screen all day. You have to move. Exercise isn't just about aesthetics. It's about training your body to generate energy. When you move your body daily, even for just a short burst, you flood your system with oxygen, release endorphins, and awaken the power that's been dormant inside you. You prime your body the same way you prime your mind. Nutrition is another piece of the puzzle. Most people treat food as entertainment or comfort, but food is fuel. Every bite is either building your energy or draining it. When you load your body with processed junk, with sugar and chemicals, you may feel a quick high, but the crash always comes. Over time, that crash turns into chronic fatigue and health problems. But when you fuel your body with real, living foods, vegetables, lean proteins, clean water, you're giving your cells the raw materials to thrive. Vitality is built one decision at a time, one meal at a time, one habit at a time. And don't forget the power of recovery. High performers don't just go hard, they also know how to recharge. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's during deep sleep that your body repairs, your brain consolidates memory, and your energy stores are replenished. Cutting sleep to hustle more isn't strength, it's sabotage. You may win in the short term, but long term, you pay the price with your health and your ability to sustain success. Hydration, breathing, posture, all of these tiny details matter more than most people realize. Your brain is 70% water. Even slight dehydration can cause fatigue and brain fog. Shallow breathing keeps your body in stress mode, while deep, intentional breathing calms your nervous system and brings clarity. Stand tall, breathe deep, drink more water. It sounds simple, but these micro shifts compound into massive results over time. Here's the truth: you don't get energy, you create it. Vitality doesn't come from sitting around hoping to feel better. It comes from intentional rituals that prime your body and mind for peak performance. Successful people don't wait until they feel like exercising, eating clean, or sleeping enough. They make it non-negotiable because they know everything else depends on it. So ask yourself, are you nurturing your vitality or are you neglecting it? Are you treating your body like the foundation of your dreams or like an afterthought? You can't separate success from energy. They're inseparable. If you want to build a life of abundance, impact, and freedom, you have to invest in your health with the same passion you invest in your business, your relationships, and your goals. Because when your body is strong, your mind becomes sharper. When your energy is high, your confidence skyrockets. When you feel alive, you lead differently, you think differently, you influence differently. And that's when you become unstoppable. So decide today. No more excuses, no more neglect. Move your body daily, fuel it with power, rest it with intention. Do that, and you won't just survive the game of life, you'll dominate it. Look at your life right now and be brutally honest. Who do you spend most of your time with? Because whether you realize it or not, those people are shaping you. Their conversations, their habits, their standards are rubbing off on you every single day. You can't escape it. Human beings are social creatures. We adapt to the environment we're in. If you surround yourself with people who accept mediocrity, who complain, who make excuses, you will unconsciously lower your standards to fit in. But when you surround yourself with people who demand more from life, who play the game at a higher level, who won't settle for average, you rise to meet them. That's the power of your circle. It determines your ceiling, or it lifts you higher than you thought you could go. Success leaves clues, and one of the biggest clues you'll find when you study high achievers is that they're ruthless about their associations. They know that environment is stronger than willpower. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if you're drowning in a sea of negativity and small thinking, eventually you'll get pulled down. That's why you must take control of who you give your time, your energy, and your heart to. It's not about being harsh, it's about being intentional. If someone is constantly draining you, holding you back, or keeping you small, you have to limit their influence. At the same time, you must raise your standards for yourself. Because the truth is, the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the standards you hold. If you tolerate being tired, broke, uninspired, that's exactly what you'll continue to live with. But the moment you raise your standards, truly raise them, you create a new identity. You stop saying, I should, and you start saying, I must. There's a huge difference between a desire and a standard. A desire is something you want. A standard is something you refuse to live without. Think about it. If you have a standard that says, I will always find a way to create wealth, then when obstacles come, you don't back down, you adapt, you figure it out. If your standard says, I will never settle for a relationship without passion and respect, then you won't tolerate toxic patterns. When you set a standard, it becomes your internal law and your actions align to make it real. That's how breakthroughs happen, not because you want more, but because you decide you won't accept less. And here's the magic. When you combine elevated standards with the right people, growth accelerates. If your standard is high, but your circle is low, you'll constantly fight to maintain your level. But if your circle is also high, they pull you forward. They challenge you, they stretch you, they won't let you settle. Iron sharpens iron. You need people around you who will call out your excuses, remind you of your greatness, and push you beyond your comfort zone. That's when you grow the fastest. Look back at any massive leap in your life, and I guarantee someone was there who believed in you, challenged you, or inspired you to step up. Nobody does it alone. That's why surrounding yourself with the right people isn't a luxury, it's a requirement. And it's not just about mentors or role models, though those are vital. It's also about peers, friends who push you, partners who build with you, communities that hold you accountable. Now, here's the question. What standard are you living by right now, and who are you letting influence that? Are you hanging around people who normalize complaining, who laugh at ambition, who treat discipline like it's crazy? Or are you aligning yourself with people who normalize winning, who make excellence feel like the baseline, who raise the bar simply by being in the room? You get to choose. You can choose to keep shrinking to fit in, or you can choose to rise by surrounding yourself with people who force you to grow. You can choose to keep tolerating what drains you, or you can raise your standards so high that mediocrity can't survive in your presence. Your destiny is being shaped right now by the standards you set and the people you let into your inner circle. Don't take that lightly. Elevate both, and your life will transform faster than you can imagine. Because the moment you decide, I will no longer accept less than I'm capable of, and you surround yourself with people who hold you to that decision, you become unstoppable. So today, make the call. Look at your standards, look at your circle, cut what drags you down, embrace what lifts you higher, and then watch how quickly your world changes when you refuse to settle and you choose to surround yourself with greatness. Now you know what separates the millionaires from the millions who never arrive. It's not luck, it's not genius, it's the habits, mind priming, bold action, physical mastery, and the company you keep. So I ask you, starting tomorrow, will you be disciplined enough to prime your mind? Will you take action every single day? Will you fuel your body and raise your standard of who you will become?